Okay. So I suppose since I've been appointed treasurer, I suppose I've been kind of thinking about the role or what's kind of facing me next year. I'd be guessing it'd be kind of next year, really. We'll be taking over the reins myself, and I think Martin is probably there as well. So I suppose really trying to think as to how we can make the process probably flow a bit better from what I've seen from the outside, being a member and signing up and so on and making payments. So I suppose it's just my experience. So I'm kind of trying to interpret that to how can we streamline it and make it a bit more efficient. So what I'll do is I'm going to share my screen there, just very brief presentation and demo. Like to be honest with you, I'll probably run through it in 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes max. And then if you have any questions. So I'm going to do screen share, just going to put up this presentation or PowerPoint thing I have. You can all see that, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to run through is just the current workflow as I see it from point of view of people signing up for events and making payments. Then going to cover a proposed solution and demo that solution then, and also just look at what the workflow would be around that solution and kind of rules we'd have to put in place just to make sure it kind of runs efficiently. And costs and what's costs associated with using this particular tool, and then whatever question and answers. Look, as we go, we can ask those as well. So I am just starting off with the current workflow as I see it. It looks like, typically there might be an expression of interest, ever before people sign up for anything is to see if people are willing to participate in a particular activity or event. And then it kind of goes on from there to sign up, whether it is a WhatsApp message group, people replying saying they're in or out, or maybe Google Forms. Along with that, then we're collecting activity-specific information. So like our swims, you're looking for what day you sign up for, what time, what lane, possibly gear sizes, different bits of gear. Christmas party recently, so that'd be another event. So you've menu choices. So I suppose the tool I'm looking at here is that we can drive all this information into it and let people make those choices and pay at the same time. So it's all about just collating all this information, stuff that we're trying to gather through WhatsApp groups, and it's a bit here, a bit there. It's all higgledy-piggledy coming and trying for, I suppose, the organizer trying to track it all can be quite difficult, I'd imagine. I suppose last not least, then who hasn't paid? So people say I'm signing up for something, but that doesn't mean they've actually paid. Being treasurer, so I assume we're looking to reconcile banking accounts to what people have signed up to. So I'm sure that's probably another headache in itself. So that's the current workflow as I see it. I don't know if that's kind of fairly accurate, my description from a member's perspective. Does anyone want to add into that, or is that kind of typically what we kind of do?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, you've got Declan, like the facilitators. So Dave Hart and Adrian, he's on the call here as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's on mute. Yeah.
And myself, we do spreadsheets with who said they're signing up and who's paid, who said they paid. And then we send that on to Marion, and she reconciles it then or not, and then they have to be chased up. So
okay. No problem. Okay, so that's current workflow. So I suppose the proposed solution here, I suppose what I'm looking at here is kind of like an online store that would actually contain all our activities and events for people to sign up to. So by purchasing, you're signing up. So like we say, if swim sessions come up, they're just published on the store. By purchasing particular time, date, you're automatically signed up. So we're collecting that sign up. We're also collecting all the activity specific information. So people are making those choices during the purchase process. Payment is collected. Also, if we've limited places, like maybe pool sessions, maybe it's limited. I'm not sure if there's a limit to how many can partake in a particular session, but we can limit, I suppose, what sessions are available. So if there's only 25 places, that's all we'll publish. So it'll be like first come, first served, And again, from the back end of that, from all the, I suppose, sign-ups and so on, purchasing, we can pull a report at any particular point in time just to kind of pass that on to the organizer to say, look, this is who is signed up. This is the preferred session. This is the lane, so on. We can provide that information. And from a user's perspective, I suppose, it is just very simplified interface. So it's a very simple mobile or desktop interface. which you can use on the go. So you can be sitting in traffic, you know, I mean, it's like just purchasing like you would do online with a very mobile first kind of interface. Multiple payment options, again, you know, Visa, debit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay. So, you know, where you can just double tap the button on your phone to make payments. So very easy to make payments. So it takes out that delay from people signing up to the point of people getting around to saying, okay, I must pay that, I must get around to do that and sit on my PC and do my transfer, get out my whatever it might be, you know, your banking calculator or whatever you need to use to do a payment transfer. And I suppose it also ensures in first come, first serve. So if people, you know, I mean, it will drive people to probably sign up a bit quicker to events that say, look, there's limited places, or we're giving them an interface that's very easy to use. And, you know, I mean, there's no excuse really not to be able to do it there and then, you know. So from there, I'm going to go on and just kind of demo what this would look like. So I've kind of done up just a mock-up store, I suppose, under my own credentials. So I'm just going to show you what it might look like from point of view of signing up for a swim or the Christmas party. I'll share that link as well with you so you can just see how it looks like on the mobile. I'll share the WhatsApp group there in a second. I'll just go in here. So it's Blackwater Triathlon Club. So this is what the shop would look like potentially. So again, it's all broken down by categories at the moment. We're in all items here, but again, you can refine it out like strength and conditioning. Look, I'm only looking for stuff swimming related. If we've a lot of events in there, I'm just going to go back to all items here. So let's say, look, I want to sign up for my pool swimming or pool winter swim 2022. I can go in here and I can see there's a variation in pricing, which typically is the case depending on the night you're selecting. So this would all be pre-populated. So depending if there's a Monday night, you want 8 to 9. So the price will update to the price applicable to that time slot. And then also you can just record your preference when it comes to pool lane. Again, lane 1 to 5, or else not sure, let the coaches decide. So maybe with a new member, you know, I mean, they don't know what to put in there. So they can just select that. And again, you'll see up here, the Monday 78 here, it says out of stock. This is just to really demonstrate, I suppose, just how we can limit a session. So Monday 78, you know, those 25 slots. If they've all been bought, look, we don't want anyone to sign up to it. So it's like first come, first served. Again, that will just drive people to sign up a bit quicker, you know, that there is limitations there. So once you've made your selections, again, just add to cart, like any online store. And you can just continue to cart to check that out, so to pay for it. So I'll just click across here. I can see what I'm signing up for and just hit checkout. And again, depending if you're doing this on a mobile interface, you might have the option to double click, you know, with your Google Pay. I have Google Pay integrated with my web browser, so I can just click Google Play here. Or Google Pay, sorry, I'm saying Play. And I can hit Pay here. No, I'm not going to hit it because it will actually charge my credit card. So I'll take that payment, so I'm just going to cancel that. So all that information gets recorded on the back end, you know, I mean, the person's details, their name, first name, email, phone number, support as much as we need to really collect. And again, these orders, they will generate emails, which would probably go to a shared mailbox. So we all have access and can see people signing up. But again, from the back end, we'll be able to pull a report at any point in time. So let's say we have swimming going on. It's up there in the online store for people to purchase. And you're saying, look, in a week's time, I really want to know who signed up so I can actually go and put together my timetable with this. So you might say, look, we have a cutoff. You need to sign up by this date, and then we'll pull the report and I'll provide that then to the organizer. So that is a particular purchase. Again, just to show you a different one. Just going to get back right out here to events. So let's say, look, the Christmas party. I just picked things that I've seen recently happen. So we're signing up for the Christmas party, €40 base price. Again, we can collect, again, pre-populate all this. What's your starter choice? You might say, look, gluten-free option, main course. Again, there's an option here for steak, which is going to add €5 onto your price. So you can see that up there, €45, and dessert again. So again, same thing, add to cart and check out and pay for it. And all that information is recorded in the back end. So we can pull a report as well when we decide to close that out. So that's what the online store looks like. So that's what my intentions would like to kind of see what we do, you know. So again, your glad is there's not a whole lot in there other than I want to purchase one and just add it and pay for it. So that's the browser. So that's the demo. I'm just going to share that link there inside the WhatsApp group there as well. So you can just click on that and you'll see what it's like in a mobile interface. So again, as I said, is mobile friendly. So the back end, this is actually driven by Square Up. Their point of sales and internet shopping kind of platform. So you're going to get an idea of what that looks like there.
Can I just ask a question there, please, Mike? It all looks pretty amazing to me so far. But can I assume that for renewals of sessions that the online shop for various things would open at like members would be told, right, you want to book your next session of running, the online shop is open for that now or something like that, right? I assume it would work like that.
Absolutely.
So can I just ask, I also appreciate what you're saying about encouraging people to sign up quickly, a first come, first served basis. But for argument's sake, let's say someone has been going to a Tuesday swimming session for donkey's years, and then when the shop opens, they're dying sick in ICU with COVID, with an incubator, with a ventilator down their throat, and they miss it. Is there, would there be the facility to have some kind of preferential reservation for incumbents?
Absolutely. So let's say
that can be put into it, yeah.
Yeah, let's say you kind of saying, look, I know there's an individual here that wants to sign up for something. Yeah. We just won't advertise as many places. We'll say there's only 24 slots rather than 25 available. Or, you might decide like Niamh, we have your lad who's maybe renewing in January, and you're kind of going, well, we really want the people who are participating this year to actually have first preference for next year. So that would be probably advertised to that group first, and then if we have places afterwards to advertise it to the general club itself to say, look, there's additional places available for renewal in January if anybody's interested, and if there's only two or three places left, that's what we'll leave in the online store, for people to pick off. So
okay,
I hope that answers your question. Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, again, look, it'll really be down to the organizer, I suppose, to kind of dictate like how you want the items to appear in the store. Like, do you want restrictions there from point of view, like max I can take is 25 people on a particular session? Do we leave the lane options open where people say, look, it's a preference. My lane is 1 to 5, whatever your preference is, but you're not guaranteed it. We're just recording it as a preference. Or do you want to really drill down to the point where you're saying, I actually have only 5 slots in lane 1, and that's all we're going to allow people to pick? But I think there's a lot of flexibility in the lanes and swimming when I see it. You can chop and change, and people do change. So I don't think it's really down to the organizer. We'd have that discussion for each particular event that would be coming up. So I would, as a treasurer, maybe talk to that person, to kind of really drill out how they want to collect information and what information they want to collect and what restrictions should be in place from point of view of, quantities and so on.
What about if we don't have enough people for a session and they've already paid money into the online shop? Have we a refund?
Yeah, so what I'm going to, I'll probably just move on with the presentation here because it's kind of trying to cover, I suppose, potential kind of issues around the workflow and so on. So it'll probably answer your question as well, Niamh. So I'll just kind of go through the next, I think there's 2 slides or 3. So what I'll be proposing here with the workflow with the online shop method would be the treasurer, myself or Martin, would look after getting those items into the shop in conjunction with input from the organizer of the event, just to kind of give some details if they need additional information to go in there, descriptions and so on, and limitations on the stock available. We'd work with them just to get it right in the shop first, and then they can actually advertise it within the WhatsApp group to say, look, spring swimming is open. You can go and book your slots now. Again, that's what I'm saying here in the second note here, and the second item is the organizer. Sorry, I've gone too far there. The organizer would notify the members to sign up and the preference of a closure date. So you might say, look, I want people to sign up this week after Friday. I don't really want to be getting anyone signed up, so we get the bulk of people signed up. No, that's not to say you'll always have people sign up afterwards, and I kind of explain how that might work. Again, as I said, all this, we can pull reports, or I can pull reports at any point in time if you're looking for something for a particular item in the shop, and a list of names and the preferences, whether it was a particular day for swim or, menu choices, and that'll all be available through a report. I suppose just to ensure this system gets enforced, would have some rules around it. So signups would be via the online shop store only. So we won't accept anybody saying, oh yeah, I want to sign up, but not. The only way you can sign up is you go and purchase from the online store, as simple as no bank transfers. You know, I mean, someone does bank transfer by mistake, it needs to go back to them. They still need to go back to the shop and purchase it. It's the only method of signing up. So we really need to be kind of, I suppose, enforce that, where we're not kind of doing a bit of the old way and a bit of the new way. It's like, this is the only way you can sign up. You need to go and buy it in the online shop. So again, as I said, if someone hasn't signed up through the online shop, you should never be added to an activity until that order is placed. So let's say you've closed out the swimming, you've kind of got the bulk of your orders, but someone decides last minute, oh God, yeah, I want to do the swimming. That will generate an order, and this is where this will get picked up. So we'll say like orders like kind of outside of your preferred window of collection, they would still generate an email, which I would like to see go into a shared mailbox that everybody has access to. They can see. So let's say Ken decides to sign up after the window, that Declan can see. We can say, look, Declan, Ken has signed up. There's the email. He's paid already. So add him to the group or add him wherever it needs to be added. You know, so there will be that visibility. You know, so as soon as someone pays, there'll be a notification there inside the shared mailbox. So that's how we'd manage that. The only way someone can sign up is with this order being placed. Again, as I said, that's what I was talking about there. Sign-ups post preferred closure date, that all orders will generate an email, and that will be available in a shared mailbox. So we'd have to kind of figure that one out. Do we have a shared mailbox that people use? Gmail, I'm not sure, but that's something that we'd set up. Again, what about sign-ups mid-season? So potentially, you know, I mean, new member joining, but you know, I mean, we're halfway through the swim sessions. Again, what I would recommend here is that the particular participant will still go in and purchase through the online shop at the full price, and we do a part refund. So this is just from traceability. So we do a part refund, and that would obviously have to be sanctioned by the organizer to say, look, yeah, this is all they should pay, but we get them to pay the full amount first and then refund afterwards. So it's just traceability, you know, from point of view of who has signed up and what refunds have been made against it. And the one you asked about there, Niamh, was, let's say you do, sorry, I'm way too far there now, an activity that you think there's going to be good uptake in, and it turns out that, look, we haven't got enough people signing up. We need to cancel it. Very easily can cancel it, win and just cancel all the orders and refund the money, and there's no cost to either party to do that. So, you know, I suppose you could go straight into getting people to sign up, even with the intention of saying, look, if it doesn't work out, we just cancel. There's no administrative headache, you know, to refund or figure out who has paid and who hasn't, and refund those. You know, it would be just a normal cancellation or refund transaction through the store. So that would be the rules, really. And I suppose last but not least is the cost, because there is a cost with anything. I suppose you go into any shop and you pay by card for your groceries. There is cost for those transactions through payment gateways. That's what they're known as. So you'd heard of the likes of Stripe. It's a payment gateway. All it is a payment gateway. You would have to build your online store on top of it. I suppose with the likes of, I've actually went through quite a few of these online payment gateways with kind of stores, front ends. And this was kind of the best one I came across was this Square Up. And their rates are very competitive in comparisons to just payment gateways alone. They're actually at the same price. I think they're kind of giving these online stores to kind of, it's really aimed at kind of small businesses, you know, to kind of attract them to their platform where they can sell online as well, and kind of offer them a complete solution. So just I'll show you just roughly kind of what costs you're talking. So the spreadsheet here, our little Excel table is, we say, let's say something costs €10. Sorry, no, I shouldn't have clicked there. Something costs €10 in our online store for the winter turbo training. There's a base fee for every transaction through the store, which would be 25 cents. Plus then you have 1.4% on top of that of the actual money spent, which comes, in the case of €10, is 39 cents, and then you VAT on top of that, 23%, which comes to 47 cents. So from point of view of a €10 spend, you're looking at a 47 cent cost to that. Just gone up the values then. For a €50 spend, you're looking at €1.16. You'd be looking to recoup that cost as well somewhere. And at €100, you're looking at just over €2.02. I don't know if we have any VAT exemptions or anything like that as a club, possibly not, but that's what you're kind of talking for a €10, €50, and €100 purchase. So that's how the calculation is done there. And I suppose those costs, again, obviously no one likes paying extra money, but I suppose really, I think no matter what you sign up for these days, there's costs involved, whether it's a race or whatever. There's always, could be €4 or €5, 50 cents or €1. You're not going to buy much inside in the shop, grocery-wise, for that. I suppose two options from point of view of trying to recoup that cost. You either bake it into the price of the goods we're selling. So like if there's a turbo session for €10, that becomes €10.50. You're just collecting at the point of sale. You make that item $10.50. Or you might say, look, let's be €11 and the surplus is income to the club. That could be spent on something else. The other option I was thinking of is whether we just have a higher membership fee for club members. So, if you had to pay an extra €10 a year, would cover all the transaction costs potentially a user would have, through the online store. So I suppose that's something we would probably need to discuss and figure out for it to go this route. So that's kind of the presentation. I don't know if anybody has any questions or what their thoughts are.
I think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Now, the only thing I will say is, like, this is to square up. Now, we have a Squarespace offers something like this too through the website we've already got.
Okay. And what's that used for? Is it sorry, I'm not sure.
It would be like there's an online shop option on the website that we have. Now,
okay.
I haven't looked into it yet, but I would imagine just looking at that and having a quick look at it there, that it would be virtually the same thing.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know with respect to, like, again, I know they use Stripe, I know they use various other Apple Pay and various payment crowds. I didn't look into it a great deal when we were doing it. It wasn't something that kind of came up with the website.
Yeah.
But
and what were the intentions of it, Mick, at the time? They would say.
Oh no, what there are, like, there's no. What I'm saying is, there's a facility on Squarespace to do exactly the same thing. We don't have it yet, and it was something like, Niamh, you were talking about maybe at some stage having a thing on it where we could sell stuff or just share stuff within the club of people who had stuff to sell. If people had, say, a turbo they wanted to get rid of it, we would have a page or something on that. So we were looking at that. So I haven't really looked at it yet. I'm just like from the perspective of doing this, I don't know whether it would be simpler. I mean, this would be just a question then of adding a page with a link to this particular payment option on our own website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
like from point of
using the inbuilt one on Squarespace, and it's whichever one would be most practical is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would imagine
I
would imagine building it and doing the maintenance of it would be virtually identical in whichever one we use.
Yeah, I suppose when I looked at these, Mick, myself from point of view of solutions, again, as I said, it's kind of tiered a bit. You have the likes of Stripe, which is a payment gateway. At a very basic level, you need to build your own site on top of it, your own shop and so on. This is more of an integrated solution where it's a payment gateway, plus they offer you kind of this online shop portal. Now, there's a few out there who do that, but the big problem I found with was the ones went through was the reporting just wasn't there. SquareUp was the only one that would pull the reporting. Again, there's a bit of tweaking you'd have to do with the reporting coming off the back end. From point of view, like what we want to do is to say, this product, we've sold it to these customers. And that's something you don't see in a lot of the online stores for whatever reason. It's normally very much insights, this product is selling well. All this stuff was not like saying, look, I had a product. Can you show me which customers I sold it to? And the only one who could do that was SquareUp, but still there's a lot of tweaking from point of view of the report that will come off the back end. But it's manageable from my point of view, I don't think, because ultimately, I suppose, as the treasurer, we'll be looking at those reports to manipulate them and send them on to the whoever's the organizer of the event. So Yeah, so I'm not sure what's on the current BTC website, but
Like,
again,
well, there's nothing. There's no online shop currently there.
yeah,
But there is a facility for adding one if we need one. And
yeah, if you need.
and I know that you can integrate the Square Up one into the Squarespace website as well. So that would just be a
Yeah.
question of adding we would add a page with this, so club members would be able to just access it
Yeah.
through the website as opposed to having to remember another thing. But I'm just saying the functionality around, the front end that you were displaying there is pretty much identical to the one that is the Squarespace one. So I'm just saying it might be worth looking. I haven't looked at it in detail. I can have a look at it and see and we can have a chat maybe about which is the most practical and which is it's just, it might be simpler just to use the one that's part of Squarespace because it's just there already, or we can add it easily, or else it might be just as easy to use the one that you come up with now. So I'm just saying it's an available there's functionality available for us to use if we want to do it on that. So but I'd have to have a look at it. But either way, I'm presuming that if we do this, we will link it to the website so that people can just log into the website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's the Blackwater Triathlon Club's website domain at the moment? Is it Blackwater Triathlon Club.ie or something? I don't know. I never looked at it.
Yeah, it's kind of up. I kind of shared it with the committee there recently to get some feedback from people, and I'm kind of waiting. But
and what's the domain name at the moment? What is it? Blackwater Triathlon Club, is it?
BlackwaterTriathlonClub.com, I think, isn't it?
Maybe Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I'm not seeing it there. I just googled it, but I'm not seeing it.
Actually, it's offline at the moment because it's not quite ready. So I can send you a link to the.
Oh, that's fine. So I suppose from my perspective, Mick, on it's not more so the front end, because a lot of products out there will give you this online store front end. It was the back end that really got me when it came to reporting, being able to provide the reporting, out the other side from point of view of product to customers, and that's where most of them did not have that functionality. It was even onto support, and some of them, said, no, we don't do that, or you have all these fancy insights, so what's selling great, but we're not that type of store, we just want to say, these people have bought this and I can pull that out. And that's why I ended up on Square Up, really. It's not really because of the front end. It was the back end reporting side of it, being able to pull something that I can manipulate. Again, that URL, that can be integrated with the Blackwater domain name. So it might be something like shop.if there's Blackwater Triathlon Club.ie or something like that. So be kind of a bit more streamlined from point of view of navigating there. So I'd integrate all that as well. I come from an IT background, so all that kind of stuff would be very familiar. I would just need to get access to do that, to kind of integrate it a bit better with the current domain name for the club and so on.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't looked into the shop, so I'll have a chat with you. We can have a slightly more technical chat sometime, and figure it out. But I think the notion of the online shop, whatever way, and using it for that, I think it's an excellent idea, and it's a very practical solution, and it makes probably life a lot simpler for you as treasurer and treasurers going forward over the next 50 years or so. Because in 20 or 30 years, when Niamh is still dealing with a treasurer as chairperson, she'll want to make it as easy as possible for him, won't you, Niamh?
Absolutely. No, I absolutely brilliant. This might be a really stupid question now, but the money goes through Square, whatever it's called, into our account.
Absolutely, yeah. So I haven't drilled into that, how often you get payments. I think you can set up how often you want the payments to flow into your main bank account, but that's what will happen. Obviously, their percentages would be taken and the balance would go into your account or your preferred account in the back end.
All right, so they're gaining interest on it in the meantime while it's going through.
Yeah, I don't think it sits there that long. If I just haven't looked at that part of it, I think you probably can, get payments out every 24 hours, but it'll be all automated, as to how often you push money, from the platform to your main bank account.
It sounds amazing. I didn't know you could do it.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, what are your thoughts in relation to obviously covering the costs associated with, doing it this route? Do we bake it onto the price of our items to recover the cost, or increase membership? Because like if we come next year and we put Turbo up there for €11, going, geez, it was only €10 last year. No, we need 10.50 really to cover the cost, but you'll probably get people who will go complain about it. Whoever complains first is going to become the next treasurer. That's the way I look at it.
Sorry. I think, well, I had actually already been thinking about that. We haven't actually put up our membership rate in like donkey's years anyway, so we probably need to put that up next year. But I mean, obviously it would be a committee decision. I would think a €5 would probably be the most you could realistically ask people to, percentage wise, But so I think maybe we could add it on to things that are relatively cheap, like Turbo is very cheap for what they get for it. Maybe things like yoga lattes or something, which might not pay for itself as easily. We maybe not add that onto it, so the membership fee, extra membership fee, would cover those ones maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you decide, I suppose, as a committee as to what the price should be. Obviously taking into account, I can tell you what it's going to cost.
Like things that we know are very well supported, we can add the cost onto that. Other things that aren't well supported but we want to keep going, we leave the extra membership fee covered.
Okay.
I think.
I think you're right about the membership fee, Niamh. It hasn't gone up for a long time, and putting it up to €5 or something, like Michael says, probably cover it all, and it's due to go up. Really, isn't it? The other thing is we're involved in a sport where people are going off and spending €300 on wetsuits and $4,000 on bikes. I don't think anyone's going to bitch about another €5 a year.
What is the current fee? Is it 25? Is it, or
it's 25? Yeah. I guarantee you there'll be people who complain about would happily spend 4,000 on a bike and then still complain about it. No.
Yeah, complain about that extra 10.
That's because triathletes are just twisted anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like personally, like coming into January, I would like to go straight in with this model if everybody's in agreement that we kind of start fresh. We get the accounts as they are, close of this year. It'd be very easy to trace everything if we all stick to our guns and how the workflow is, that no one is signed up for an event until you see that order email or they're in that report that's issued, at the close date, for sign up. It just makes it so much easier. I don't think no one's chasing money, no one's looking for information. If I suppose the organizer of the event, whether it just will say the Christmas party, if you kind of know what's happening well in advance to say, look, I know this is the menu, I know this is how much it's going to cost. We put it up there, we pull a report at whatever point in time, say, look, that's it, we're closed. If you haven't signed up for a Christmas party at this stage, that's it. There's all the information, and whoever it is, Kira or whoever will come next, we'll have all that information to hand, and there's no one chasing money or, it's just there. And from point of view of accounts, I don't know, do we have to do accounts at the end of the year with it? Accountancy, we can very easy trace all that, it is all there. We can say, well, this is what generated whatever money, we pull all that from the online store. So there should be no money flowing directly into the account unless people are making donations, so if someone decides to transfer money directly, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a donation, it's not for just women. They can go and go back to the online store. Now, look, people will probably end up doing the wrong thing, but they'll just have to go back and buy it through the online store, and we'll get back around to transferring that money back to them, if they do make that mistake, it's just we need to drive it home,
So the refunds, when we were talking there about having to cancel a session and you just cancel it on the store, do the refunds go straight back to
straight
them?
Back is same route, yeah. So I would have done this myself. So I've actually refunded money directly to myself, and any fees that had been employed, were gone. Now, again, it could be a week later before that person received a refund, but they'll get an email to say a refund has been made, and stating how long it'll be before they see that refund. So it'll be very traceable from that point of view. You know, again, when they place the order, they're going to get an email to say, this is what you placed the order for. We're going to get that email as well to say, person X has ordered so and so, you know.
It's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, the membership fee has been decided for this year already. We actually didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
But definitely next year for the incoming committee. But that's absolutely brilliant. It's a win-win as far as I can see.
Yeah. Like, I know we're coming into Christmas. What I have there at the moment, obviously, I can understand it all. I'll just have to recreate it under Blackwater Triathlon Club because it's all done under my accounts and so on. So it'll have to be, you know, specific. So I'll just redo the whole lot. I've most of the imagery I've used. So I can kind of build it out and people will kind of get a flavour of what's to come next year as well, you know. You know, I mean, anything that's in the shop can be just taken offline, you know, that you can't purchase it, but you can see it, you know. So it'll just give them an idea, going, oh yeah, this is going to be a single point of contact for, and I want to get involved with, you know, the club. As you said, if there's club, you know, whether it's club gear and discounting stuff like that, we can look at that as well. Like, there's ways of discounting, you know. So if someone's buying multiple items, you know, that's all stuff we can kind of trash out, you know, when the time does come. You know, I mean, we'll be finding our feet a small bit the first year. But there is, you know, you can apply discounts, you know, for multiple items being purchased. What else would you be looking at? Can't remember else. Got a blank. It's been only rubbish.
Can you put PayPal on that as well, or Revolut?
So again, like with Revolut, that's like a debit card. So you probably have your Revolut as a Apple Pay or Android Pay, do you? You know, when you go in and tap your phone in the shop, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all major, like MasterCard, you know, Visa, Apple Pay, Google Pay, they're all covered really, you know. So just you won't be wanting really for payment method, you know.
So would it cover PayPal?
PayPal is, I think you can add PayPal to the store, but I think there's a cost to add that feature in the store.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
No, my only preference when it comes to PayPal is when I'm buying from stores that I've never purchased from before, because they've saved me several times when it came to not receiving an item. PayPal's great, but from point of view of a club, I don't think we need to use PayPal really. PayPal is just attractive to a user buying from a store that they've never bought from before, because PayPal are very good that way to cover you if there's any issues. And the particular shop isn't engaging with them to say, well, we did ship it, or, you know, typically, look, I've always been right anytime I've actually challenged something with PayPal. I think I've done it twice ever, and they've got my money back from me, you know, both times. So
what do you do for a living?
Sorry?
What do you do for a living?
Oh, me, I work in IT, kind of infrastructure, anything, phones, you name it, printers, PCs, anything and everything really get dragged into. So kind of do work as well with a charity, all their IT side of it. So, you know, when I was being dragged in here, I went, we need to probably look at streamlining and making life easier, because like time is limited, you know. You know, you can spread yourself too thin, and I don't know, you start losing money, then a club starts losing money if it's not being managed right, you know. You know, there's only so much chasing you can do if people are signed up, and I suppose so. If it's nice and streamlined, I think make life easier, and maybe whoever's in the role, they might last more than a year or two, you know, and yeah, just make it. It's
a 3-year role.
Is it?
Yeah.
Never told me that. Look, I think if we get this up and running smooth, you know, I mean, probably do it forevermore, you know, whoever it'll be, you know, it'll be just go in and replicate what has been done. Saying, look, we have swimming coming up for next winter. I'll just copy that item. Going to keep the same settings in there, you know, they're just published, you know. So it'll be just a case of then. This has been
recorded, and you just said you'll do it forevermore. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's well, I can delete it as well.
This is an example of why it's important to change the members of committee occasionally too, and get new blood in, because you got people with new ideas and doing things different ways. You know, so
yeah,
you know, you need that every so often, and you know, although I think you may regret telling her all those things you can do.
Yeah, no.
I can see names. little kind of a brain kind of spinning and say, oh, we can do this, he'll do this, he'll do this, you know?
Yeah.
I think we're getting
no,
more excited about that.
yeah, like,
He hasn't
for me
mentioned his
personally, I
hourly
like the
rate yet. That will share off.
for me personally, like just even like if you're in traffic going to work and you go, oh yeah, there's swimming there, I'll sign up for that, you know, because at the moment, like, I mean, I know myself I'm guilty of saying I signed up for swimming, but just Jesus, I've been swimming a few nights already when the season's starting. But Jesus, I must still pay, you know, and it's going, I must go home, let's get on the PC, get out the banking calculator. Like there's no real excuse anymore. Then it's just so much easier. Yeah. So I'm going to go in, get my slots done there and done and dusted, you know. So I think we should see, you know, kind of better uptake and, you know, engagement and cash flow, you know.
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing because we're actually at the stage now we're actually starting to put it out there to sign up for all of next year's sessions, you know. We're probably a bit late, so the sooner you can get it, the better.
Yeah, look, the bulk for this there I can understand. So I assume whatever's coming in January, we're talking swimming again. That is possibly, you know, but again, whoever's the organizer, we will have that conversation with the organizer as to, you know, what way, you know, what information do you want to put in that store with that particular item, you know, how do you want to control who can purchase what, you know, so it'll be, we'll just have those conversations, you know.
Okay. So if you, I
so
can
look,
see there, the meeting's only got a few minutes left, is it? But if you post this up on the committee WhatsApp and just like wait a day or two to make sure there's no objections, but I can't see any problems with it.
Yeah. And look, I'll get building out. Look, I might need some information. Like I think I have count details, but like I'll just get this rebuilt, you know, from the ground up. Again, look, the bulk of the work is kind of done. It's just me just recreating a few items, you know. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount really just to redo it, just to have it to run in January, you know, kick off.
I shared some of the details of the website with you there. I sent you a WhatsApp there a minute ago, Michael.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. As I said, Mick, from my perspective was the back end reporting. That's where, you know, there's so many out there that do the storefront, you know. It's the back end was the thing I struggled with most of the providers I looked at, you know, and this was the only one that I said, yeah, that report I can work with. I have to manipulate it a bit, but it's, you know, it's doable, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's just a question of adding another page to the website, and we can just stick a page on with the shop. We can integrate the two of them.
Yeah. Cool, lovely. From point of view of, we'll say domain, all that kind of stuff. Who manages? We'll say the domain for the club, email stuff, Gmail.
Mail.
Like who has those details?
Well, I have all of those details.
Yeah. Okay. You better share those with me, Mick, could you? I'll just so when I'm signing up, I'll use the club email address. You know, is that a shared mailbox that everybody has access to?
We have actually just a bunch. Do you know what? I'll have a chat with you about it because there's a whole bunch of emails, and there's going to be there's a OneDrive account for the treasurer now, and one for the secretary, and one for everybody with a different email associated with it. So that's the plan was to kind of have so that all the treasurer stuff will go into the OneDrive account, and then when you hand over to the other treasurer who replaces you in 15 years' time, you can just hand them the details of the OneDrive account.
Yeah.
They'll just So
do you have Office 365? So do you? Are you using Office 365? Yeah, under the Blackwater domain. Okay.
There's a like the OneDrive account has, I think, six different Office, so there's 6 different accounts in it as such. So you can each kind of club officer or whatever will be able to have full access to the full Office suite associated with that as well.
Okay, yeah. So is that like, I assume you're paying for that? You know, you wouldn't be getting it for free in here.
It's £100 a year or something.
No, that's fine. Yeah, look, I'm very familiar with Office 365 admin there, so that's what most businesses are using now. So yeah.
So
cool. That's grand. So look, we'll get working away and get ready for January coming. And again, look, we're not tied to anything here. You know, I mean, if we're a few months in and said, look, this is not working, you know, I mean, there's no financial commitment here. You know, there's no contracts involved. Just to make you aware, you know, it isn't like we're signing up for a couple of years or a year. You know, here, just as long as you want it to be there, you know. But look, I'd say we should be okay. But It's always good to know that there's no ties anywhere with this, you know.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think that's brilliant, Mike. Well done.
Yeah, okay. So look, sure, Mick, you might just, whatever details you can share, or come back
Yeah,
to me. And
if you, I've just sent you a WhatsApp. Send me on your email. I've probably got it somewhere, but send it on to me again anyway.
Yeah,
I have
no
and
problem at
share
all.
all the bits and pieces, and we can sort that out over the next couple of days.
just
Thanks
looking at
a
you,
million.
Martin. There,
That's
you're my you're a treasurer as well, Martin, are you?
Yeah,
Oh, they
all
get
of
rich.
that just went like that. So
Yeah. No, I haven't met you at all. I haven't. No, I don't.
no, I don't think you have more.
No, we might see you some night. Are you swimming any nights now?
I will be. I haven't been, but I will be. It's what I need to get involved in. But we can maybe we'll WhatsApp and just arrange a meeting or something like that. And
See, you better sign up first, no, Martin, because we'll be in the know, you know, when something's gone out. So we'll have to pick up the.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be able to decide whose account the funds will be resting in.
All right, Ted, clearly.
Cool, lovely. So look, we'll leave it at that. We're kind of gone over the 45 minutes. So we'll be in touch. Grant, do you want me to share this video regarding SOA as well in the group?
Yeah. And listen, thanks a million to the two of you for coming on board. We didn't welcome you officially.
Yeah. Baptism of fire. I was just thinking, going, let's think about this before we land into it in 2023. See, can we make it all flow a bit better, make life easier for everyone? So, fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Brilliant.
Okay, guys.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.